I'm the kind of designer that I like having a lot of options, and sometimes one software is a better problem solver for me than another. Hi everyone, I'm Hannah, and today I'm going to talk with you a little bit about some of my favorite things about Affinity. So my first favorite thing about Affinity is that it is really built for graphic designers. So between the 3 different programs, you have Designer, Photo, and Publisher. And really they're built out to make it very efficient to design. So my second favorite thing about Affinity is that it's really easy to work with vectors. So for example, you are able to adjust things and get really fine into the details of it. You can always go back in and decide that, oh, I actually want it more like this, and keep adjusting until you have the design you want. The last thing I want to talk about Affinity is that I really like that you can jump between the different softwares. So let's say you're working on a brochure and you have some photos that you need to touch up. You don't have to take those separately and put them into Photo. You can jump straight from design, go into Photo, edit your photos, and then take them back. So it really streamlines the process. Affinity is just a really useful tool for graphic designers to have. It's something that you can do pretty much anything you need to do, and you also don't have to shell out a ton to access it. When I started designing, I really got my beginner experience from using Procreate. Procreate is just a really good tool to be used as a doorway to design. You can start out small, learning your skills, and then eventually perfect them. So really, the first thing to know about Procreate is it's about as close to pen and paper as you're gonna get for something with technology. Their interface is pretty simple, and so it's easy to figure out the pen features and colors and stuff at the beginning. That's actually what I did when I started out designing, and then from there I added on more features that Procreate offers. So even though it's really easy to start out with, there's also a lot of customizations that make it, I guess, a step up from pen and paper. One of my favorites is that you can use a tool called Streamline, and when you're drawing a brush stroke, it straightens it for you, and you can adjust that based on how much you would like it to do that. So really, Procreate is just a great tool. It's easy to learn, but you can do so much with it. So now that we've talked a little bit about both Procreate and Affinity, I wanted to talk about some of the instances where I would use one over the other. With Procreate, really the biggest thing would be if I just want to sketch something out or make a quick doodle or just really have a lot of freedom in drawing. That's when I would use Procreate. Affinity design I would use more for a structured concept. So for example, if I were to make a logo for a client, I can use the fonts, know that they're aligned up with my image, and I know that my image has the right curvature. One way that I've found it's nice to use both Affinity and Procreate is if I am sketching something and I want to bring it to, I guess, a final piece. Let's say I sketch something out on paper. I could take a photo of it and then bring that into Procreate and kind of straighten out my lines and get it more towards the illustration I'm looking for. And then in Designer, you can perfect your edges more, get the curves you want, and have your final piece. Both softwares are just really great to have. Really, the reason I started using them is they are a relatively affordable price. You buy it once and you don't have to subscribe to something. These softwares allow you to make that purchase and continue to hone your skills and keep learning without having to fork over a ton of money. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let us know. And if you have a question about Affinity or Designer, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys.